Growing up, I've been on the internet a good chunk of my life so far. Many of my experiences have been online, including the one I'm going to share with you today. This is honestly something I've wanted to share for a while now. Being the person I am, I like to write about things. I like to share things with others, which is the biggest reason I'm talking about this. I do also hope to spread some kind of message and help out anyone out there who might be going through a similar situation or just a tough time. 2019, the year I was introduced to this game. I'll be honest, it was great. It still is great as of now, and always will be. Now, if the game is so great, then why am I even talking about this? Notice how I said the game is great? One thing about most video games is that they all have a fan base. Of course, finding others who enjoy what you love is amazing, but this is the internet. Like the real world, the internet is not just puppies and rainbows. Don't get me wrong, there are many good people around the internet, but nowadays I feel I am seeing the toxicity grow more. Toxic people are a life experience. You're gonna run into them wherever you go, but there's a point where it just gets unhealthy to be around. Looking back now, I do realize that I had the power to escape. I was just so deep down in the state of depression that I was doubting anything was gonna change. It's a place that I don't even wish to send my worst enemy to. So, what exactly am I talking about? I'm talking about Flood Escape 2. Not the game, but the community. As I said earlier, I started playing FE2 in 2019, but none of this really even started till probably the beginning of 2023. Before that, I want to say in 2021, I had a very smart idea to start exploiting. And what does a very smart person like me decide to do? I decided to cheat on my main account. I'm not gonna go too much into detail, but basically, I ended up getting banned from FE2 on my main account. Having around 2 to 3 years worth of progress on this game and getting banned like that, I was obviously upset. So I decided to take a break from FE2, which led me to another game titled TLK Prison. I know for sure a lot of my bad memories come from this game. In my head, my experiences from it felt so bad, I would spend most of my days crying for hours straight. There was also a point where the word pizza would trigger those memories. I wasn't really going to go too much into detail on what happened because I just hate talking about it, and most times feel that my bad experience in an online game isn't something I should feel this way over. I need to tell myself this all the time, so let me tell you. Your emotions are valid. If someone says otherwise or thinks something terrible you've gone through isn't that deep, please do not listen to them. We all experience and grieve over different things. Don't compare your life to others because there is only one you, and that is what makes you amazing. Now, back to what I was talking about. One thing I've noticed about myself is that when I'm playing video games, I can get so focused to the point everything seems more real than it actually is, which is exactly the thing that caused me to feel so terrible over what I'm about to share with you. TLK Prison, not your ordinary prison game. And joining it for the first time, you'd probably think it's just another prison game, which, yeah, it basically is. That is until you discover the many things you can do to other players in this game. I'm not going to go too much into detail, I just want to get to the point. Outside of the prison, there's a small neighborhood of houses that are the same model. There's also an abandoned house straight in front of the prison, blocked off by a gate and brick walls. When you first walk in, it looks completely normal up until the third floor, but the house has four floors, one being the basement, which is the floor that tells you something fishy is going on here. Straight in front of the staircase, there's a cell with a chair inside. From the right of that cell, there is another cell that is completely empty. I don't remember why or how, but one day I was in the empty cell. My character tied up. Yeah, that's one thing I haven't mentioned. The ability to restrain players, which not only makes you unable to move, it also disables your ability to reset. So the only way to get out is by leaving the game or breaking free. Of course, being the person who I am, I decided to stay there, which was a terrible decision. These three players, one I remember their name was Shadow, and I can't recall the names of the other two. One of them picks me up and takes me all the way to the houses I mentioned earlier. while the other two are following. Once we got inside the house, I'm not even joking, this game has collars and leashes, which makes it 10 times worse than it already is. They decide to put my character on a leash and convince me to roleplay like a woman in the 1800s. All of this took place in a kitchen setting, so for a good while, anything to do with kitchens would trigger this incident in my head. I said earlier that pizza was a trigger word, and that's because it was also associated with this incident. Looking back over it now, I can definitely say I've gotten over it more. It took years, but that's enough proof to myself that things can get better. Can get better if you make an effort to get better, which is what I'm going to talk about right now. Oh boy, here we go. I'm not entirely sure how long I stayed playing TLK Prison after that incident, but I know I eventually came back to FE2. But I didn't learn from my mistake. I started exploiting again, but I'm pretty sure soon stopped to avoid that specific account getting banned. Spoiler alert, it got banned. And that is what I want to call the very beginning of the Corn era. What does one do after getting banned twice? Learn from their mistakes, of course. No, I came back over and over again. That started to build up recognition from people in Chaos servers. This game, not being very big, I ran into the same people most of the time, and more people started to recognize me as the Chaos server exploiter, which somehow got to the point where people were trying to copy me and I would get called fake and have to prove I'm the same person every time I got banned, which honestly I don't think most people believed I was the same person. This lasted probably a good 4 to 6 months before I switched from cheating to doing a glitch because of the anti-cheat system Roblox was implementing at the time. I don't remember if I went back to exploiting or not because most of this information is just squashed in my head. Now, even though I wasn't harming anyone with my exploits, people still got upset. I mean, most of the things that people said were just things like loser, no father, bad at the game, but there were a few comments in there that really affected me. One of those comments triggered a 2-year argument. Let's talk about the corn is racist allegations. It all started when I was just minding my own business, doing my little cheats. At this time, I had a really hard time with speaking to people and finding the right words to say, which I still struggle with sometimes. This guy, out of nowhere, makes a sexist comment towards me, and at this point in time, I had still been struggling with the incident from TLK prison, so I did not want any more bad experiences like that. So I replied to this person, saying something racist, and they do not take it lightly at all. Yes, I know racism is not the solution to anything, but at this time, I was very depressed and wasn't thinking clearly. This one racist comment turns into a whole series of drama. Moments after I say what I said, this guy with a spam name comes into the chat and starts going on about how you can't be racist to white people. That was the main thing he would talk about every time I saw him. He also talked about many other things which I honestly didn't understand any of it. Many times I would run into him, he'd always be leaking my main account that had been banned for years from FE2, which he somehow figured out very quickly what my main account was. This went on for a good while until it just stopped. I honestly have like zero memory from 2024, but I remember at the end of December of 24, this person who I'm going to talk about a lot from now, they said something along the lines of, I hope 2025 is your worst year ever. And for the first 2 to 3 months of 2025, I thought it was a repeat of 2023. I even wrote down exactly what happened. January 31st, 9:07 p.m. Here's what I wrote. I honestly don't even know how I feel after today. I believe that 2025 is just going to be a repeat of 2023. And why do I say this? Well, after today, there's no doubt. Spam name guy, he's back. Now, if you're confused, I get it. Spam name guy doesn't explain anything. This is a person who would come on chaos servers just to expose my main account and get me to admit to being racist. At the time, I was being racist. I know nothing justifies racism, but I didn't know how to defend myself, and honestly, I still don't. Why was I being racist? Well, let's just say someone was being sexist. I'm not gonna go into detail because I don't want to. I guess nothing has changed over the years because they were bringing up everything again today. They are the last person I would ever expect to see again. I don't even know what to feel right now. I feel nothing. Does that mean I'm used to it? Or am I over it? And being completely honest, I enjoyed it. At first, I was saying, not this again. But deep down, I was like, I don't want this to end. Now I see why people say I want attention. I'm just so tired of feeling ignored or like I don't exist. I'm starting to question sending simple messages because I'm thinking if anyone will even care or just read it. I know they are just people behind a screen, too afraid to say this to someone's face. But words hurt, you know. Telling me to kill myself before anything is funny again? They are making me feel like I'm the reason nothing is funny. Here's a screenshot of what they were saying. I am righteous is the spam name guy. I just remember joining, thinking everything would be normal. It's like I'm cursed. People are telling me to just stop playing the game. I know it's that simple, but quitting something you love just for a little bit of time is hard. Why does this have to be what feels like my only source of entertainment? I can just watch YouTube, but this feels more satisfying? Another thing that makes it hard is that I get so scared, really bad anxiety when I'm not playing it. I'm also starting to feel tired of not being able to cry when I need to. Right now, I feel I need to, but I can't. They are telling me that I'm an awful person, and I agreed with them. A bad reputation of constantly just pissing everyone off and being racist. I know it's a game, but this has been going on for years. Imagine just joining, and when some people see your name, they know something awful is gonna happen. It's my fault. I know. I should stop getting upset. I put this on myself. I feel like there's just no turning this around. I can't change, and I don't know if I want to, or in fact how to. Leaving this part out for personal reasons. God, all I can say now is just 2025 is gonna suck. That person was right. And I don't even know if I want to change it. High school, the people are better than in middle school, but it's just another thing bringing me down. Guess what, dear me from 7 months ago? 2025 has been my best year in a while. Yes, the beginning absolutely sucked, but things have changed a lot. I want to go over some of my experiences with this person named Cheesecaker. I recognize that the FE2 community is toxic, but this person might be one of the most toxic people I've ever ran into in this game. Here's what I wrote. You know, seeing that person was like taking the most scary image ever and throwing it in your face out of nowhere. Literally a jump scare. I'm glad it doesn't bother me as much anymore, but literally just the word cheesecake would make me panic. Like, bro, I know this is just Roblox, but my god, that person was so toxic. I remember I was eating dinner at a restaurant with my mom and sister, and my mom ordered cheesecake for dessert. I'm not even joking, I had a breakdown over that word. My heart was racing and tears were falling out of my eyes. I don't even know what the hell happened, but bro started accusing me of being a PDF out of nowhere, if you know what I mean. Like, holy crap, that is a terrible thing to accuse someone of. I don't care if you're a troll or rage baiting, it's not okay. Stuff like that isn't a joke and shouldn't be taken lightly. It causes years and lifetimes worth of damage to people, and to accuse someone of such a heinous act with zero evidence in a public chat is just miserable. People on the internet will believe anything they're told. They don't give a damn about evidence. They rely on what one person said. I'm grateful your accusations didn't last longer than you were there. Really, it was only brought up when you were there. Which tells me I'm not the issue. You are. Accusing me of being a PDF is one thing, but they were a straight up bully. I remember when I first met them, they were calling me autistic. I genuinely thought that they just noticed that in me, but after telling my sister, it led me to believe that they were just making fun of me. Damn, I wish I took more screenshots. I didn't think it would end up like this. Like, I ran into insufferable people a lot in this game. Those interactions only lasted the day, but for some reason Cheesecaker just likes to drag things, I guess. Oh, and you know what? Earlier in this document, I mentioned a person who wants me forgotten and for me to commit before things are fun again. Surprise, surprise, you know who that was? It was Cheesecaker. Who would have thought? And that's not even where this ends. Sometime when Nuclear Blizzard was first added as a highlight, I joined, and at first I didn't see anyone problematic until a few minutes later. I run into Cheesecaker, and one of the interactions I had was me just getting mocked for like 20 minutes straight. Here's a screenshot of what happened. Before I said, the hell, Cheesecaker was saying something like, I should be harassed every time I speak. One thing I forgot to mention is that most times I had interactions with this person, I was in a deep state of depression, and they would always be telling me ways on how to cut myself or kill myself. Like this screenshot here, I'm pretty sure it's obvious what attempt again means. They also said something extremely messed up and disgusting, like, I'm gonna grape you while laughing. Now remove the G from grape. I'm not entirely sure what caused some people to hate me this much, but I know I would glitch a lot to waste time. Get angry at people who rage bait all you want. I get it, it can be annoying. But you gotta realize there's a point where your anger can go too far. If you don't like what's happening in a video game, don't be an idiot like me. Please find some way to solve your problems before you or someone else gets hurt. I might end up making a part 2 to this if I think of anything I didn't go over. To end this off, I firstly want to explain where the name corn came from. I notice a lot of people asking me what corn is or if it's another word for that stuff. To be honest, I don't remember fully why I chose corn, but one of my favorite bands is Corn. So to put it this way, I named myself after one of my favorite bands. I think ever since this, their music has grown on me even more, especially since they have songs about bullying. And to some of you that may be watching this, Riger Day 4 Progress is coming soon. I will try my hardest to make that my next upload. Anyways, that's about all I have for right now. Please remember to always be yourself and don't let anybody hurt you in the ways that I did. You are amazing and you deserve everything good life has to offer for you. Thanks for watching and peace out.